associates, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to today's very special town hall meeting. It is a historical meeting. Time has a way of moving quickly and catching you unaware of the passing years. It seemed just yesterday that I was young, bubbly, and ebullient self, fresh out of the armed forces, readying to embark on my new life of a president and senior executive director of a newborn IT company, that is OurSystems, fully confident of influencing matters and building a great company. Yet in a way, it seems like ages ago, and I wonder where all the years went. All that I know is that my very affectionate colleagues at OurSystems and I lived a wonderful life in great style. Today, we have just glimpses of how it was back then and all of our hopes and dreams as of today. And here it is. 25 years have since rolled by, and this phenomena catches almost all of us by surprise. The question that I ask myself always is, where did these years go? How did we get here to this point and so fast? The famous Victorian era writer Lord Tennyson had once said, "The old order changes, yielding place to a new order." And those of you who are attending this town hall meeting, whether in person or online, shall forever be witnesses to the change in the old order at OurSystems. It is a historical day indeed for all of us. Post the acquisition of OurSystems by Blackstone, Shri Nitesh Bansal has taken over as OurSystems Chief Executive of the company. Please join me in extending to him a very hearty, warm welcome and a highly we wish him a very, very successful innings here. Nitesh joins us with an immense background and great reputation, having spent 23 years at Infosys and 1 year at HTC Global. At Infosys, he held several leadership roles, working across almost all geographies in the world, India, Europe, the Americas, and so on. His last appointment at Infosys was a senior vice president and global head of engineering services. I've been associated with Nitesh for over 2 months now. I believe that he's a wonderful human. He's a copybook gentleman, has rich and varied experience, has bag full of ideas and the passion to move our systems to the next higher level. What is more, he has found ready and very warm acceptability between most of my colleagues that he has met till date. He appears to bring a lot of fresh breezes with him as I see it. And he has made his entry into our systems with a bang, winning a $9 million deal for our systems against very stiff opposition, passing down lavishly the credit for his win to the sales and technical teams that supported him in this mission. To add to this, Blackstone hierarchy at Bombay has, and laudably at that, moved in fast and within weeks of the acquisition, strategized to acquire Pune-based Velocio Technologies Private Limited as a subsidiary of our systems. The Velocio hierarchy, represented by Kalpak and Chirag and two of his other colleagues, are present here amidst us today, and over the tea, you will have the privilege of meeting with them. Welcome to our systems. Blackstone has also set up a team to help us grow business with their portfolio companies. And we have already hit 3 major successes there with the promise of many more in the pipeline. All that I will say is that prodigious days lie ahead of our systems as we move into time. I wish Nitesh the very best of luck and great goings ahead. I also wish Chirag, Kalpak and their teams prosperous business days ahead. I promise you, this 1 + 1, we will definitely make it 11. Highly professional and well-lit team that we are in our systems, let us all resolve to strengthen Nitesh and through him Blackstone in moving our systems to the next higher level that I have been talking about in the shortest possible time. I have always believed that so far we have done super good, but superlative performance is on the horizon now. And this I am saying with a lot of confidence and pride for whatever we have achieved, accomplished over past so many years. Associates, please remember, high performance teams demonstrate a common defining vision, a strong commitment to that vision, mutual trust, and a cohesive approach of guiding each other to successful peak performances. And let us remember, our peak performance or our vision today is a $1 billion company in the next 5 years, maximum 7 years. Thank you for being here. Once again, please. Once again, our heartiest congratulations to Nitesh, and join me once more in welcoming him to our system. Over to Amit Dixit.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for always motivating us. Next, we'll have Mr. Amit Dixit, Senior Managing Director and Head of Asia Private Equity, Blackstone. May I request Amit to please unmute and address the audience? He is available online.
Hello,
Hello,
everyone.
everyone.
Can you
Can you
hear me?
hear me?
Can you see
Can you
me?
see me?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I think
on
on
the people and
and
the
the
somebody
somebody
can
can
sub from
stop
the
from the
audience
audience
in case
in
I'm
case
on.
I'm on.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Is it
Is it
audible?
audible?
Yes, Amit,
There
we
is
are
a
good to
echo,
go.
Amit.
We are good to go.
Yes, you are audible, but there is an echo.
I think
I
for
think
the
for the
echo,
echo,
you may
you
have
may have
somebody is
somebody
not
is not on
to remove
to
the
remove
echo.
the echo.
Anyway,
Anyway,
I can
I
also
can
get,
also get
I'm also
I'm
getting the
also
echo
getting the
back.
echo back.
But let me
But let me
anyway get
get
started.
started.
So again,
So again,
as was
as
just
was just
said, my
said,
name
my
is
name is
Amit,
Amit,
and this
and
is
this is
my
my
17th
17th
year
year
at Blackstone.
Blackstone.
And what I
And what I
do is
do is
I head the
head the
private
private
equity across
across
Asia.
yeah,
And what
and what
Asia means
Asia
for
means
us is
is
India,
India,
China,
China,
Japan,
Japan,
Korea,
Korea,
and
and
Australia.
Australia.
So that's
So
the
that's
five
the
largest
five
companies that we
we
have.
have.
And overall, Blackstone, you may be familiar. We are publicly listed. Thank you. The echo has gone now. So thank you for whoever has put the mute on. Thank you. This is much better. Blackstone overall, we are publicly listed in New York. We're the world's largest private equity firm. Our ticker is BX. So anything you want to know about BX, just go to Google and type BX. So very large, open, transparent organization, about $100 billion in market cap. We manage about $1 trillion of assets. If you add all of Blackstone employees globally, it'll be around half a million employees in Blackstone companies globally. And closer to home, where I think majority of you are based in India, Blackstone is the largest foreign firm in India. The market value of all the assets that we have in India is over $50 billion in India. So just to put that in context, if you were to think of Blackstone as a Indian conglomerate, we will be like a number 6 or a number 7 in India if you were to start with Reliance at the top and Tata and so on. So we're quite large. And the reason we are quite large is we have a very large real estate business. We're the largest owner of real estate in India, and we also have a very large private equity business, which I think the team here, as you will see from Blackstone, you not only have Harish Manwani, who's a senior operating partner, you also have Mukesh Mehta, who's a senior managing director on the investing side in India. You also have Animesh Agarwal, who's a principal in the investing team in Mumbai, and Ashwin Singh, who's a senior associate. And then our colleague Amit Dalmia, who's head of Asia portfolio operations. He could not join us today because of a issue in his family. But again, the full Blackstone team is here today. Too bad we could not be there in person, but at least by video, we are all there. And I think just a couple of messages. I think the reason I mentioned about Blackstone's size and scale is not because I want to impress how big we are. I think we are quite well known. I think what's important is why. Why are we so big? What has led to such amount of value creation? And I think what comes to my mind is 3 things. One, deep focus. I think in our business of investing, it's extremely important to be specialized. And we chose the IT sector, especially the outsourcing sector out of India, out of Eastern Europe, as our strategy almost 20 years back. And it has been a very strong area of success for us. And we have had multiple investments whether it's Emphasis, which is also publicly listed out of Bangalore, or Taskus, which is publicly listed out of NASDAQ in the US, or Intelenet, which was a private company, which we had sold to Teleperformance and Serco before, or a Kerala-based SaaS software company called IBS Software, which makes software for airlines. So multiple investments we have made, and we have developed this expertise in the technology sector, in the IT outsourcing sector. It's the strongest sector for Blackstone in India. And we play it two ways. One is the companies I named, but where all you guys work, the IT parks, they're also owned by Blackstone. So we are the largest owner of IT parks in India. For example, whether the IT parks are in Hyderabad or Noida or Bangalore, Blackstone is the largest owner of IT parks. So we play it both ways. We invest in IT companies, and we also invest in the underlying real estate where the IT companies pays rent. So this is by far of the $50 billion I mentioned, the biggest area we have. And the core insight in the IT sector has been this sector is all about the people. The core asset is the people. It's a contact sport. Every morning the sun rises, the people actually are coding for a customer, or they're speaking to a customer, or they're selling to a customer or delivery. So the energy of the team and all the companies that I mentioned is probably the single largest critical success factor. What Dr. Reiki calls the happiness quotient. And I think it's not just happiness. The happiness translates into energy. Energy translates into momentum. Momentum translates into performance. So I think we have recognized that 20 years back, and we go out of our way to ensure management, shareholders, and employees are fully aligned, and their collective energy goes and wins in the market, which is basically my second point, that it's all about alignment, 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 because together, all of us can fight anybody. But if there is an internal tension, if there is internal gossip, if there is some lack of alignment, we will become the victims of or we will not achieve the success we need to. And we have seen this across companies, and we, from our side, try to be, this is a town hall, we try to be very transparent, very trustworthy. We've been around globally for 40 years, in India now for 16 years, and there are multiple management teams and partners, and you can speak with them, that we conduct ourselves in a way to ensure alignment across the board. And I think some of you, the senior management, have heard me say this, and I say this because I believe in it. It's in Hindi, so I know some people are not Hindi speakers, so I apologize to them. But the saying is, "Jahan pyar nahi, wahan vyapar nahi." Meaning, for just a translation, where there is no love, there is no business. And I think we mean that, because we are in the business of love. We are in the business of alignment, not because we are some Buddhist monks, because we realize that this alignment actually leads to happiness. This leads to energy. This leads to momentum. As I said, ultimately, that's the secret of high performance. And we have seen that at Emphasis and Taskus and IBS Software. Ultimately, it's the people and their energy. So that was my second point. And the last point I would make is that what we have realized in our business, the investment business, it may seem like financial investment, but the world is too smart. It's not about buying something for a cheap price, selling at a high price. It's not a buy low, sell high. That's not a sustainable strategy. Definitely not a sustainable strategy for a Blackstone, for the scale at which we operate. What is sustainable? What's sustainable is always be a builder of business, never be a buyer of business. What matters is how you build, what you build, not necessarily the buying and selling of it. And that is the DNA of Blackstone. Our DNA is not of a financial investor. Our DNA is of a business builder. All the people that I mentioned on the call from Blackstone, we pride ourselves in building businesses. And you are already seeing our business building DNA, our business building ethos in action already in the last 3 or 4 weeks. And this is not just in the IT sectors. You guys are all in Noida. I think we have a public listed company out of Delhi called Sona Comstar. Phenomenal example of business building. It was a combustion engine company, and under Blackstone ownership, it became India's largest electric vehicle component company. Currently, it's publicly listed out of Delhi with a $6 billion market cap. But again, our DNA is always if there's an opportunity to buy and sell, it's not Blackstone. We are here to build, and we are here to build together with you all, with the management team. And so with that, I will conclude my remarks. And I think this is an appropriate segue to the most accomplished business builder in our team here, Harish Manwani, who's been formerly, you may know him, he was his entire career at Unilever, chairman of Hindustan Unilever, Unilever Global. He was the global chief operating officer. And we were very privileged that Harish joined Blackstone 7 years back. And he's with us in our journey in every company as we aspire to build businesses. And he's dialing today from Singapore. So without further ado, I would go on mute and I would request Harish to say a few words.
Thank you, Amit. Can you hear me? I hope there's no echo. Great. Well, firstly, what a pleasure and how delightful it is to see the entire R Systems team all together. I've had the great privilege, of course, of meeting some of you, a lot of you actually, separately, but it's great to meet all of you collectively as a team, and I can feel the palpable energy and the power that you are bringing to the company. I want to first start by, of course, congratulating Nitesh for sort of leading this company into the future. But I also want to acknowledge what a great company has been built by leaders like Rekhi ji, Baldev ji, Nand ji, Avirag, Mandeep, Raluka, and so many of you who are in this room and on the call. It's been terrific. And I think the fact that we've had so much time to really meet people and understand this business, that we feel so much reassured that we are buying into perhaps another great gem for the future. So thank you all. I also want to, before I get started, to tell you that Rekhi ji and I have a common past. We both belong to the same school, high school. I'm not going to tell you who was more senior, whether it was him or it was me, but I can tell you he was certainly more intelligent. Otherwise, he would never have created what he has with our systems. So, Rekhi ji, fantastic. Many, many congratulations for being such a successful schoolmate. Proud of you. Amit mentioned what our philosophy is about businesses. And he was quite right when he said, our job is not to buy cheap and sell more expensive and make money. Our job is to not do financial engineering. Our job is to buy and build. It is not different from what any of us would be doing in any kind of organization when we acquire a company. And my role and the role of the portfolio operating team in Blackstone is to basically help you, all of you, have a better business than what you have today. I call that bending the curve. There is already a trajectory, a momentum in terms of what growth you can get in the future. And our job, my job, and in fact, the job of many others in Blackstone is to work with you to create an even better business. We have only two criteria for looking at businesses. Number one, does this business have a better future? And number two, does it have the right quality of team to take us into that future? And I must say that having now worked several months looking at this business, I feel so reassured that we bought into a business where we know we can do a little bit better, maybe a lot better, and importantly, enjoy the process of working with all of you to really help this business grow. So thank you very much for being part of this wonderful team, and I'm looking forward to working with you. And with that, over to Mukesh.
Oh, thank you, Harish and Amit and Baldev ji. And first of all, really thank you to each and every person who is over there in person and who is there on the call. Thank you very much for partnering us and making us part of your team. I hope everyone can hear me. Yeah. And a big thank you to and big thank you to Reiki ji for trusting us and making us part of the R System family. So thank you, Reiki ji, once again for having the trust in us and making us part of the big R System family. As Baldev ji mentioned, our endeavor and our intention is to make our system India's leading product engineering services company, to build it to $1 billion of revenue. And I will speak about the 3 or 4 key areas where we are going to work with you guys to make sure that we fulfill the dream which we all have seen together. Hello. Yeah. So first, in terms of our interventions, in terms of value add for our system, we see ourselves as not just buyers of business, but builders of business. We see Blackstone itself as one big strategic customer for our system, and a big congratulations to all of us. Within a month of we closing our system, we've already got 3 portfolio companies from Blackstone portfolio worth $10 million of revenue. So I would like to congratulate each one of you who has helped us to get these accounts and get our system into a new growth trajectory. I think that next intervention which we will look at is, not just going organically, but also in terms of inorganic growth, building capabilities for our system. And with that, within a month, we've also closed Velocio. So thank you, Chirag and Kalpak, for joining our system family. And I'm sure you will be very delighted with the culture Mr. Rekiji has developed in this organization, which will transition to Velocio employees as well. So welcome Kalpak and Chirag to this family. Third is, not just India, given our global scale and being one of the largest private equity firms across the globe, we not just want our system to be the leading product engineering services company in India, but as globally as well, and increase our presence not just in India, but in each and every part of the world, be it Europe, be it Singapore, or be it US. And we'll help you on that to open the doors to large customers. And lastly, and the most important part, which we want to make sure, is to preserve the culture which Mr. Rekiji has built, increase the happiness quotient. I think that will be the biggest success we would achieve. It's not just revenue growth, but the happiness quotient which this organization have and this organization imbibes on. We just want to make sure that people are more happier than they were under Rekiji. And it's a big task, but Rekiji will take this responsibility and make sure that the happiness quotient increases further. And with that, I'll hand it over back to Nitesh.
Thank you, Amit, Harish, and Mukesh for sharing such vital information about Blackstone and its alignment with our systems. I would request Dr. Rekhi sir to address the audience here. Sir, please unmute yourself.
Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here. In the last 25 years, we never had a town hall meeting. This is the first time that we are doing a town hall meeting with all the employees present. I want to thank Nitesh and the Blackstone Group for helping us do that. Many people have asked me, why did you sell the company? We were doing so well. We were growing. Why the change? And this question has been asked to me again and again. The hall that you are sitting in today in Delhi, Amity Hall, that's where I have taught a class on the science of happiness to Amity students. And I remember a story which I told those students, and I'm going to tell you the same story. Once upon a time, there was a spiritual wise person. He decided to go on a long journey to his old master who was ailing. He traveled through forests and a difficult journey, and his provisions were coming to an end. And luckily, he saw a hut, a dilapidated hut. And there, the grass was all dry. He was not sure if anybody lives there, but there was a cow tied to a fence in the hut, near the hut. So he thought somebody must be living here. So he walked into that house, that hut, and knocked on the door. A couple opened the door. That was a farmer and his wife. They were looking quite unhappy, but they welcomed the spiritual teacher inside. And the spiritual teacher said that I'm hungry and I want to spend the night here. The couple agreed to do so. And over the meal, they told the teacher their story. They said they're very unhappy because they don't make much money. They have that one cow which gives milk, and they convert the milk to cheese, and that cheese is what they use for getting their bread. You can't be happy if you're so poor. You can't be happy if you're cold. You can't be happy if you can't make your ends meet. And that was the situation this farmer and his wife were going through. So the teacher spent the night there, and in the morning, he said, I am very thankful for the hospitality, and I want to ask you for a favor. The couple said yes, because couple was very impressed with this teacher. Said, tell me what you want. Tell us what you want. The teacher said, I want to take that cow with me. That was a very unusual request. That cow feeds them, and he's a wonderful teacher. But the couple said, okay, you can take the cow. So this teacher took the cow away. That was the source of income. And he went over to wherever he was going. 1 year later, this teacher was on his way back. And he decided to look up the farmer and his wife. And he saw that the hut was no longer a hut. It was a refurbished house. The grass which was dried when he had reached there was now green. There were flowers. And there were 5 or 6 cows and chickens. He went into the house, and the farmer and his wife greeted him. And the teacher asked for the story, about their story. What happened? He said, after you took the cow, we went to the market. We worked hard. We found a person who was willing to loan us milk on credit. And then we started making cheese from that milk, which we were only doing for our own house, now for everybody else in the market. So more money came into us, and we became richer and happier. I want to welcome Nitesh to the R Systems group. He's a CA by qualification, but an engineer by profession. Worked across geographies, India, US, and Europe, different domains, manufacturing, finance, logistics, and he has been a market leader. He is definitely the right choice for our systems. And Blackstone definitely is the right choice. Whenever I hear Amit talk about Vyapar and Pyar, when I hear him talk about building businesses, I feel so good. When I hear my friend Harish, who's a business builder from my school, he is definitely smarter than me. As far as happiness is concerned, we are competing with each other. I might be an edge more. Mukesh is a wonderful person. He will push and make sure that you do well. Animesh is an analyst. He has data with him all the time, and that is very helpful. Ashwin, who's like my son, is always there, helpful. 1 year later, we will meet again. And I assure you that the R Systems family will be richer in experience and well-being, just like that farmer and his wife. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for always motivating us. Thank you. May I request Nitesh Bansal to be on the stage? Please welcome him.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Rekhi, for such a wonderful introduction and an inspiring story. And I think on behalf of the entire R Systems, I wish to reassure you that we imbibe the meaning of the story, and 1 year later, when we meet, we'll aspire to be wealthier, happier, more prosperous family, and make you proud for being there and doing so. Thank you so much. So once again, good morning to everyone who's present here, and good afternoon, good evening to those who are joining us remotely in every part of the world. Looking at the heat wave in Delhi, I must, I really feel proud to see this hall being so full for all of you who braved the heat of Delhi and taken the pains to come here and attend. It's truly heartwarming. It gives me a warm feeling of welcome, and thank you so much for that. I'm truly honored and excited to become a part of our systems family, to get this opportunity to lead this organization, which is built on deep respect, trust, and human values. It is indeed difficult in today's times to find organizations who would be built on such core human values rather than pure pursuit of profitability, growth, and other factors. Because like Amit Dixit said, like Dr. Rekhi said, happiness, trust, respect, values remain with us and make us grow and go faster and further than just short-term objectives of profitability, growth, and others. And eventually, that profitability, growth, and all that happens if we've got our purpose right, if we've got a direction right, if we are moving in the right direction. I must thank Rekhi ji for building such a brilliant platform, for founding and nurturing it over a period of 30 years, during which time the company has seen many ups and downs. It has weathered at least 2 large global recessions, and yet it has grown from strength to strength. The organization has nurtured so many leaders that have stayed and grown with the organization for over 2 decades. It speaks volumes of the culture, the happiness, and the kind of leadership that the organization has built and grown. And I'm personally delighted that Reiki has agreed to stay on as my mentor to help me, guide me, and make me learn and also carry out this transition successfully. So thank you, Dr. Reiki, for that. I truly am blessed that I have your guidance and continued association in order to do so. I'm also delighted and extremely thankful towards Blackstone, and especially Mukesh and Amit, for encouraging me to take up this challenge and patiently walking me through what they just said in their talk today. The investment philosophy of Blackstone, which is not about buying and selling businesses, but rather building it. The fact that they invest their time, money, expertise, and energy in helping organizations find their true potential and create unprecedented growth was very, very exciting for me. And from whatever we've seen so far, and obviously Amit and Mukesh already mentioned as well, we have seen Blackstone provide us introductions to a lot of their portfolio companies, and we've already won 3 customers out of those. And they have also enabled the acquisition of Velocia Technologies based in Pune, and hence opened the path for us for both organic as well as inorganic growth. I think this is just the beginning, because it is upon us to build on it, right? And our systems is truly a remarkable organization. Everybody that I have met, all the PAMs, delivery heads, sales leaders, regional leaders in APAC, in Europe, and with them I've learned the kind of expertise that we've built over time in certain verticals and some of the latest technology areas. With the customers that I've interacted, I've only heard praise. I've heard appreciation for the deep talent that the company brings, the dedication of its people, and the flexibility and complete customer focus that they have received over a duration of their engagement with us. And this is what has given us. Okay, that wasn't me. All right, so that is what has given us sticky customer relationships and ability to grow together with them and help them in their growth journeys. I'm thankful to each one of you for doing what you do every single day to make these customers feel that way, your dedication, your hard work, your flexibility, and every day caring for those customers and delivering to them, which makes all of us feel proud for the organization that we are part of. So thank you all. So we live in a connected world, and while digitization has been something that's been happening over a series of years, probably going over a decade, but COVID has accelerated that pace like never before. Our consumption patterns have changed. Today, we and all of us all over the world want to consume the products and the services that we consume through digital means. What that means is that for those product companies, for those service providers, they have to continue to innovate. They have to continue to integrate digital channels to their product portfolio. They are rushing out to build those interfaces, those digital consumption means through which they can reach a global audience. And they are doing that by massively adopting cloud services to scale, by creating new digital interfaces or user interfaces, as well as use massive amounts of data to draw those insights through artificial intelligence and analytics by which they can get closer to their customers. And guess what? These are the things that we are really good at, right? And what that means is there is a massive demand out there. The demand to continue to digitize those products, to continue to put digital front ends to the services, and continue to grow. And who can do that for them? And that's us. For everything that we hear in the market today, whether it's slowdown or redundancies being caused by large tech giants, etc., these are adjustments those individual companies are making to compensate for the overinvestment they've done or acquisitions they've made over years. But the fundamental demand of digitization, catering to the global consumer base, is not going away. It's not going anywhere. And as an example, and General Saab mentioned that, we have already won a large deal with a leading global manufacturer of products and access solutions, who wants to significantly accelerate their digitization journey by creating a very large 100-member team to begin with in India that would support their digital integration, digital roadmap. And this is a deal which is not only one of the largest deals that we won at our systems, but it is also a Blackstone portfolio company. And this is an introduction that was provided to us by Blackstone. And it's also a deal where we actually collaborated with Velocio to win the deal. So it brings all facets of our platform and the engine that we're creating into play, right? Now, having said that, since I've mentioned Velocio twice, I think it's the right time to also extend a warm welcome to the founders of Velocio, Kalpak, Chirag, Madhur, Praveen, everyone. And I would probably invite Kalpak on stage to give a short introduction of Velocio and what it does as we talk. So Kalpak, please.
Great. Thank you, Nitesh. It's been a wonderful day yesterday, meeting all of the leaders at our systems and the project heads. It was really a good learning experience for us. To talk a little bit about Velocio, we are a 6.5-year-old organization with about 300 employees, primarily based out of Pune. Like half the team is in Pune and the rest is remote. And over the years, we have had the chance to work with 90+ customers, including some marquee names like Warner Brothers, Discovery, Netflix, Seagate, Coupa, NetApp, etc. And of course, just like our systems, we also work with a lot of high growth companies, startups, as well as tech giants. And in terms of expertise, we have a lot of capabilities in full stack product engineering, data engineering and machine learning, as well as cloud and DevOps. And over the last 1.5 years, we had also set up a media practice via an acquisition that we had closed last March. So with that, we also have good capabilities in media and cloud streaming. And as Nitesh mentioned, we are all excited with the entrepreneurial energy of Velocio and the wonderful team and the customer base that's been built at our systems, fueled by Blackstone's operational capabilities and Rolodex. And we are looking forward to building upon this great base and scaling up 2x, 3x from where we are today. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Kalpak. So like the topic of this town hall said, we are making a new beginning. It's the beginning of a new chapter. We are moving from being a large, small company to becoming a small, large company. What that means is that we will move with speed, that we will become more relevant for our customers, and we will be able to capture a larger part of their wallet share by moving with speed and being more relevant. Because speed and relevance is something that will help us differentiate and truly achieve the vision of being a globally recognized digital product engineering company that leverages a highly diversified top-tier talent to help and enable both the market leaders as well as disruptors in moving their product into the market or in accelerating their product engineering journey, right? And if that's the vision with an outcome of being $1 billion or $1.5 billion company, then that journey starts today. That journey starts today with us acknowledging that we have what it takes. We are the people who are at the right place at the right time. When the market is ready to receive those services, whether it's cloud, whether it's digitization, whether it's data and analytics, whether it is SaaS, DaaS, DevOps, you name it, you are the ones who they're looking for. You are the ones who they need to help them accelerate that journey, right? And just like it has been said, and you've noticed, we already have a great sales engine. Now we've got a second engine with Velocio. It's being supercharged by Blackstone. We already got a great platform built by Dr. Rekhi over the years. We've got the engines that supercharge it, and interacting with all of you, I'm confident that we have the desire and the ability to actually go out and conquer the world, create an unprecedented growth story, make all the other acquisitions that Amit talked about, whether it's Sona, Comstar, Mphasis, or others, look smaller in terms of value returns and really come out on top in the next 3 to 5 years. And I'm excited because I'm looking forward to working together with each one of you in making that happen. So looking forward to that. Thank you so much for being here. Interesting part will begin now with a lot of questions. So I'm here, but once again, thanks to everyone from Blackstone, Amit, Mukesh, Harish, Animesh, Ashwin, and everyone for joining in. Once again, thank you so much, Rekhi ji, because I know it's late in the night for you, but you still took out your time and gave your blessings and, you know, an inspiring story as always. So thank you all. So for Q&A, I believe just a quick housekeeping thing for those who are on Teams. There is a Q&A icon on the top. You can type your question using that icon, and it will reflect over here. And either I can read it or somebody will read it to me. Prem has actually volunteered that he can read those questions to me. And then anybody who's in the hall, please feel free to just raise your hand or stand up and ask. There are microphones in the hall. Yeah. All right. First question is usually the one that takes most time to come.
It's always the question.
Yeah. All right.
If you want, there's somebody comes there.
No, the mic is working. Just hold it closer, I think.
Am I audible now?
Yeah.
First of all, welcome to our system family, sir. Good morning. I was listening to you, Rekhi sir, Nitesh, Amit, Harish, everyone. Rekhi ji mentioned earlier, like you guys, Blackstone is people friendly, and today I trust all.
Okay, I still can't make out everything. Sorry. It's probably the.
Is it better now?
Much better now.
Okay. So, sir, Rekhi sir mentioned before that Blackstone is people friendly. Today, Amit, Mukesh, and Harish, they mentioned like pyar vyapar thing and increasing the happiness quotient. So, do you have? So, this is my question now. Do you have any plans for ESOPs as Blackstone has done for many other acquired companies? And if you can share the plans, please.
So the question is there a plan for ESOPs, and if there is any details that can be shared? Well, the simple answer is yes, there is a plan for ESOPs. I think it was disclosed to the management team in some of the previous discussions with Blackstone. And right now we're working on the details of the ESOP plan. While I would not want to commit to a timeline of saying 4 weeks or 6 weeks or 8 weeks, but then We are really talking a matter of weeks, not months.
Yeah.
When we can roll it out.
And Nitesh, I would add
Yes.
that I'm hearing
Go ahead,
Hello,
Mukesh.
hello.
You're audible. Go ahead. Mukesh, now you're on mute.
Yeah. So can you hear me?
Yeah.
So Nitesh, we have instituted ESOP plan for each and every company of our portfolio companies of ours. And as Amit stated in its opening remarks, it's all about alignment. We want shareholders to think as entrepreneurs and work in one direction of that is creating value in the company, and there'll be a ESOP for the management.
Thanks, Mukesh. Right. Next one.
Hello. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Welcome to our systems and hello to everyone from Blackstone. I am Vivek Gupta, working for Proximus. Yesterday, I met the team from Velocio. So, sir, I was wondering, and maybe you can enlighten me in that. Sir, how are we thinking to merge the capabilities of the two companies? Because I understand from the speech from Animesh that they are also in the media streaming, and we are also working for the streaming things. So how we are benefiting each other and how we can take benefit from that.
Okay. Great. So simple question is how we're going to help each other with Velocio. How are we going to use that as bringing the larger strength of the companies together? And like General Saab had said in his address, this is a 1 + 1 not equal to 2, but a 11 kind of a story that we want to make. The Velocio acquisition was carefully evaluated for bringing in services and capabilities that actually align with our systems. So it was not about creating more breadth, but about completing our set of offerings to give us more depth, to give us better case studies, or I won't say better, but a more complete set of case studies that we can leverage and take to our customers and create a larger proposition for the customer. So the combined strength of the two companies becomes far more attractive for our customers to give us more of their strategic initiatives and work with us on larger programs together, right? So that is the intent. Now, operationally, how it rolls in, essentially, whether you hire a bunch of people with new capabilities or acquire them all together, ultimately you need to work as one team. And the team dynamics needs to be set right so that ultimately, customer is the true objective or at the center of our universe, and how we align ourselves to work towards delivering more value to the customer is the only objective, right? So that's what we'll be working on, like any other situation where we get two groups together and integrate them for a common objective. And that's what, that's what's going to happen in the coming few months. And the good news is, while there is commonality of skills, which gives us more depth, actually our customers are very complementary. So we don't overlap on customers. So it actually gives us capability to sell what our systems has to most of Velocio customers, what Velocio has to all of our systems customers, and create a multiplier effect. Because again, we don't want this to be an addition, we want it to be a multiplication.
So, my question to you is actually, a lot of our customers are towards West. So what's our plan to capitalize more on our Indian customers or getting more business from India itself? Is there any plan to expand more on that, or is it continue to build on what we have from our West customers?
So I think, if you look at the IT services or our engineering services industry in general, most of the revenue is obviously, most of the companies are biased towards the Western geographies for revenue because it gives us better realization of rates. It gives us better value for the effort that we're delivering, right? Now, India also is a home to several large global companies. And eventually, as we see, they are beginning to buy services from global players and start pay that kind of rates. But still, the market in India, needs a little bit of maturity in terms of, the contracting patterns and the length it takes to kind of get something together, sign offs and all those kind of things. So we will remain open towards it, but it is still more tactical for us. Our focus is to develop a market in US, Europe, Asia Pacific, especially with players with whom we get both the brand advantage as well as we can realize higher value for the effort we do.
I have a question, Nitesh.
Yeah.
I have a question, Nitesh. Here I am.
Sorry. Oh yeah, good. Yeah.
Yes, so thanks for creating such a candid environment where people are freely asking the questions. My question is, do you like movies? Or what kind of movies, or what is your favorite movies that you last watched? I'm asking because you have a big busy schedule, so that is my curiosity.
Well, I do. I do watch movies. In fact, with the busy schedule and flying all over the world, actually long flights do give me an opportunity to watch a movie or two. I watch both Hindi movies and English movies. I even watch some Korean, Chinese, Turkish, and Spanish movies because I find it gives me a window into their culture. And even though I have to follow the subtitles, but it's a very interesting thing to do. My all-time favorite is The Usual Suspects. I still like the mystery and the unique way the story has been played in the background. But amongst the latest movies that I may have watched, I think I'm trying to remember this one. There was a new movie that I watched. Yeah, Tu Jhuti Main Makkar.
Hi, Nitesh. This is Nikhil. I'm part of the sales team. So I have a question. We've been talking technology and things like that, and I realize that it's always a team effort, right? Always when it comes to how you serve your clients. But if you're looking to grow exponentially from here, from where we are today, so I think there's probably a great need to invest into sales, right? So any early thoughts there? And moreover, I realize that we have different sales teams across our systems. So is there a plan to kind of consolidate, or what are your thoughts when it comes to sales and how we structure the teams?
So Nikhil, right? Nikhil, too early for me to actually say exactly what, right? But I fundamentally agree on the premise that to create that kind of growth and growth momentum, we will have to invest in our sales team. We'll have to give them the tools, the enablement, so that they can be more effective in the market. We'll have to give them enough feet on the ground. And if we don't have enough feet on the ground, then invest in that aspect. If we don't have the right kind of messaging, the narratives, the stories that we can tell in the market, then invest in that and create that, because without those tools, our sales team do not, or are basically working on personal charisma and hard work, and we can multiply their effectiveness by doing so. So the short answer is we have to accelerate, we have to invest, and we have to enable our sales team. What does that exactly mean is something I'll have to work with the leaders and understand what Mandeep is seeing, or what Raluka is seeing, or what Chan and Guna are seeing, or what anybody else is seeing, and what those needs are, collate them together, bring it and go after it purposefully. So short answer is sales definitely comes on the top priority, because that's where the growth engine really starts firing, right? I'll take your question, right, if that's okay. And anybody else who's got questions that still are unanswered, if they're on chat, we are going to collate them and we'll make sure that the answers get sent out. If any of you in the room have open questions that have not been addressed, you've not had a chance to ask, please make sure you mail them across, or you can send them to Prem. If I can request Prem to maybe anchor that, and just we'll collect those questions and we'll respond. If there are questions that are, we have many of those questions which are generically important or relevant to everyone, we'll even, just write them down and publish to everyone. Okay. But it is truly an honor, and I feel really warmly welcomed, and it's a really exciting beginning. So thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the support.